going on, guys, girls? Today, let me just explain why I haven't made a video in a couple of days. I've been really sick, and I had double ear infection, fluid behind both my ears, upper respiratory infection, sinus infection. It was a little rough there for a while, but I've got through it now. They give me some penicillin and some cough syrup with codeine in it. Everything seems to be going pretty good. Still got a lingering cough, but as soon as I get over this lingering cough, I'm going to try to get out and experiment with a few things and make a couple of videos. But today, I want to talk about ice in the wintertime building up on your eye rod, on your eyelets on your rod. And if it builds up thick enough, it can either cut your braid or your mono, or it can make it kind of thin, especially throwing at high speeds or reeling in a big fish. There is a couple of things that you can put on your eyelids. One is Stanley's Off Paste. You can get it at Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop. It's about $7.95 to $8.95. I've done some research. It depends on in that range, but it's a very, very small. I'd say it's smaller than this, and if you fish a lot, that ain't gonna last very long. Another one is it's some stuff based in England. You can order it on Amazon. It's about $8.50. Sort of like a thing of hand cream, but it's called a silicone mucilin or something like that. Apparently they're putting it on their eyes over in England and stuff, and it gets a lot colder over there than it does over here, so I'm assuming it works pretty good. Rain-X is another thing that you can take a small rag and wipe it on your rod or your eyelets, but all these things cost, I'd say $4 to $10 depending on where you buy it at. Today we're going to talk about a few things that you can buy from the dollar store that does the same thing. You can buy a cheap soap at the dollar store, running around your eyes, and it keeps water from building up. And most people use soap for catfishing, so it ain't really going to bother with the scent and everything. You can use cooking spray, actually. I've seen on a bunch of sites you can take Pam and spray it on your rod, and it keeps the moisture from building up and freezing on your eyes. Another thing, chapstick, which you can use chapstick on your lips. Have a tube for your lips so your lips don't bust, and then you can put a tube around your eyes. And I guess that seems to work pretty good for some people. I never thought about using chapstick, but I mean, from what I've done research on, it seems to do all right. And believe it or not, Vaseline. I guess because it's a petroleum jelly based, it don't freeze. I've used Vaseline on my bubble boxes because it keeps the battery units from rusting when they get moisture and stuff in them, and it worked pretty good on that. It kept my bubble box from rusting all year long. But another thing I like doing in the winter when it snows and it's cold, you don't want to get wet and get even colder, is I like taking Scotchgard and spraying it on my coat. So I guess you could use Scotchgard on your rod too. I know I use Scotchgard on the base, on the cords and stuff, to keep water and stuff from soaking in them, and it keeps the slime and stuff from making rods real slimy. Makes it easier to hold on to. But I've seen here lately some people are talking about taking real dense tent spray, like the silicone tent spray. And I'm guessing that would work on the rods too because it don't hurt the tent. So I doubt it would hurt the rod eyes. And it would make it really smooth for your line going out. I know it's going to be, it looks like it's going to be cold this year. We in the South don't really deal with a lot with your eyes freezing. Maybe on some of the harsh winters, but most of the time it don't really get all that harsh. I know not we didn't experience any 30 below or anything like some of the people up north did last year, and I feel sorry for them if they get experience that this year. But we don't really get to ice fish a lot because our lakes don't freeze over. We had a shad kill about, I'd say it's about 3 years ago, and we had some of the shallow parts of the lake freeze, but we never did have any of the rivers or anything have a full freeze all the way across. So I guess we're kind of lucky that way. Well, I hope some of this helps you this winter keep from having to knock that ice off them rods and stuff. And if you have a hack that you put on your rods to keep them from freezing, I'd really like to hear it in the comments. But the next hack to fish, I'm thinking about showing people how to sharpen their bait knives. I was a meat cutter for about 8 years for Texas Roadhouse, and I've sharpened a lot of knives. I sharpen knives with my buddies and stuff. And I always emphasize, please be careful because I can sharpen a knife so sharp you can shave with it. But like I said, if you have a hack on how to keep your rod eyes from icing over, I'd really like to hear it. Till again, this is Hack to Fish, and I'm out.